Hello everyone, good morning. I am outside of the city of art and sciences in Valencia, Spain. Today's video is compiled just by coming across a few different things while I am solo traveling through Europe. And there's a few tips that I came across on my own that I couldn't find before I came. I did do some somewhat extensive research before I came on this trip. I wanted to make sure I was as prepared as possible, and I still came across many things that I thought were very important that I actually didn't know beforehand. So I've decided to compile some of these together and share them with you today. So today I have these 7 tips that you need to know while solo traveling through Europe, part 1. So this first tip should not be a mystery at all, but it's so easy to forget when you're not at home. Just like when you're at home, these other cities and countries, they all have rush hour traffic in the morning. If you're taking off for the day while you're in a destination and you're going to see something and it requires a taxi, you actually may end up getting stuck in the regular rush hour traffic. When I was in Lisbon, I decided to go into the city and it was about 8:30 in the morning and we were in standstill traffic on the highway. I said, wait, I'm in a whole other country. How is there still traffic? Turns out there's traffic in every country, every time. People still have to go to work at the same times. So be aware of what time it is before you're taking off to places, or you're gonna end up stuck in traffic. It's number 2. Before you get into taxis, make sure you already know what you need to say and how to communicate with them to take you where you need to go. There's been multiple times already that I get into a taxi and I don't quite know the exact wording on how to get where I need to go. Now, the thing is, taxi drivers could be very impatient. Some of them want to go. For them, time is money. So if you're sitting there trying to use your Google Translate and you don't have it prepared, they might get a little fussy with you. So that's one thing, just to make the smoothest taxi rides possible. You just want to have your translation prepared, know exactly where you're going and how to give that to them. Okay, tip number 3. You're going to arrive to a new destination and you're not going to really know what the food is so much, and you're going to be in a spot. You're going to have set out to try all these new wonderful foods with amazing flavors, but that actually takes a little time. You have to find the restaurant to be able to translate the menu and know what you're getting. There's a little thought that goes into it. The tip number 3 is don't get tempted into eating the chain food restaurants. All of your favorite restaurants from home or the known comfortable spots that you already know of will be there. Subway, McDonald's, KFC, all of these restaurants are everywhere around the world. Make sure you don't get so tempted to continually eat at these type of chains. It could put a dampening experience on the real food culture that you could be trying while you're in a certain place. The way I like to go about it, since I've been here, is since you're on the run and you might be short on time or you get really hungry and your only option is a McDonald's, that's fine. But also make sure to take the time to add these experiences by going to these local restaurants or these different restaurants that have foods that you haven't tried before. Additional tip onto this one, if you have food allergies, be prepared to have a translation asking if there are whatever the allergy is inside of the food that you're ordering. It helps so much to be able to be prepared for these kind of things. So when you go to a restaurant, have your translation prepared to ask for these kind of things, especially these local restaurants. So you will have to speak their language to communicate accurately what you need to know about the food. Number 4, you show up to these places and you can see all the sights and everything is so beautiful and amazing, but it turns out you don't know what these things are called or when they were built or any of that. Now, you might be thinking, why does that matter? I actually don't care about these kind of things. I just like to look at it and enjoy myself. And you can do that. But I particularly did not like history so much just because of how I remember it from school. Old things, blah, 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 this and that, blah, blah, blah. But when you're out solo traveling on your own, you could contort the history lesson to however you find most interesting. When you take this time to learn about the things you actually do enjoy looking at or experiencing when you're on your trip, it will add significant value to your trip. You'll be able to remember your trip in a more special way, and you'll be able to have that value know more about things that you care about that you found on your trip. Tip number 5, this is one of my favorite ones. So when I was in Canada, the hotel was right in the middle of the city, close to everything that I needed to get to. Everything was within walking distance and made for a perfect trip. Then when I went to Portugal, it was a little bit far away from everything. It was a 30-minute drive from Lisbon. It was a 20-minute drive from the beach. Everywhere I went, I had to get to a taxi, and it wasn't that convenient. I don't mind taking taxis around, but these costs add up. You want to be in a hotel that's close to everything that you're at. This allows you to save on taxi costs. You can walk around the city more and see more things that you want to see without having to take a long journey. Tip number 6. I'm not a huge fan of doing laundry when I'm at home. You know, it doesn't kill me, but I can get it done. I'd prefer if it did itself. So when you're traveling, you're gonna have your clothes, you're gonna have your suitcase, and you'll be at a hotel, and you're gonna want to have your clean clothes. You definitely are not, out of any time, are gonna want to be wearing dirty clothes when you're out traveling. It just doesn't feel fresh. Couple tips with that. I personally have been asking the hotels when I go, do you have a laundry service? I need to know if they have a laundry service. You can pay the hotel to help you with your laundry. They will wash your clothes and bring it to you, or you could even do it yourself. There are all sorts of methods to use your bathtub and drying hangers so you can wash your clothes yourself, but be prepared to know that if you're going on a trip to where you're going to be gone multiple weeks, then you need to be able to keep your laundry fresh, and just something to keep in mind ahead of time to save you the headache of having to figure it out on the fly. Tip number 7. If you're going on a day trip, it's smart to prepare for your trip, or prepare for where you're going, so you can take what you need to that destination, enjoy the entire day there before you have to return back. The worst thing is when you're on a trip and you leave the hotel, you go 30 minutes to some destination that you wanted to check out, and you realize that, oh man, I want to go back to change my t-shirt, or I wish I had extra deodorant. Oh, I needed to charge one more camera battery. Just make sure you pack everything as if you're actually going on a miniature trip, and then you can have everything prepared for the day, and it keeps your day fluid so you can get everything done without having to change locations too many times. So with that, these are my 7 tips for preparing to solo travel in Europe. Again, these tips I came up on my own because I was just coming across these experiences. I did tons of research, as much as I could, on YouTube and Google before coming to these locations. And these are just small things that I picked up along the way that I was somewhat surprised by myself and was able to figure out, and now that I could share with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the first kind of my informative type videos. Like always, I will see you in the next video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I am actually leaving Spain tomorrow. Today is my last day in Spain. Like always, it's going to be a giant surprise of where the next location is. Tune in tomorrow. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm super excited for the next location. I'll see you all there.